welcome to GB Yoga Online with me, Maddie. Today I've got a flow called Flow and Let Go. It's a flow that's just going to give you a nice long practice where you can just forget about anything going on around you and you can start to tap into your body, mind and breath. So we're going to start on the back today. We're going to have our knees bent, feet on the floor, and just bring in one hand to your belly, one hand to your chest. Start by closing the eyes, softening your shoulders, softening your face, your mouth, your jaw. Maybe noticing your heartbeat with the hand that lays over the chest. And just starting to tap in to your body, to your breath. Noticing any subtle changes or sensations that start to manifest. And just starting to add some control. As we inhale, we're going to inflate the belly as large as we can. And as you exhale, let the breath go, allow the belly to fall. And again, nice big inhale. And as you exhale, just let it all go. Inhale. Fill your belly, but then bring that breath up into your rib cage, all the way up into that top hand in the chest. And as you exhale, reverse that breath from the chest, rib cage and belly. And just continuing your 3-part breath. Thinking of every inhale as an intake of all the things you need, energy, oxygen, all the goodness. And your exhales are letting you get rid of waste, of stress, of tension, of anything that you need to surrender or let go of right now. It doesn't have to be physical, it can be something mental that you're holding on to that you just need to let go. Give yourself permission to soften, to relax, to surrender, even if it's just for the time you spend on your mat. And then we're going to begin to start to move our body with the breath. So we're going to bring our hands either side of the hips, palms facing down, and we're going to set up for this low bridge position. So our feet are on the floor, knees are up to the ceiling. I want everybody to exhale completely. Hold that breath out. Now as you inhale, I want you to slowly lift the hips and with it move your arms. Find your own rhythm. So as you reach the peak of your inhale, your hands are overhead behind you if you can reach the floor. And as you exhale, slowly come back down. And just keep this going. There's no designated time for your inhales or your exhales. Just start to link everything together. Body, mind and breath working in unison so you can get that timing correct. And you can flow. Now coming back down as you exhale, hold that breath out. And we're going to add some counts. We're going to inhale for 5. So when you're ready, off we go. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale for 5. Last one. 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Let the breath come back to its own rhythm, and don't worry if you couldn't get those longer exhales. It will come with time and practice. Now we're going to bring our hands onto our hip bones. The glutes should start to be firing up after that little sequence, but we're going to get into them and set our pelvis to neutral. So pressing the palms down into the pelvic bones, we'll start to curl and lift up the tailbone, then our glutes, then our sacrum of the lower back and some of our spine. So we're on the ground from our mid-back up. The rest is lengthened and lifted. Start to really firm up into these glutes. And we're going to reach our hands straight up to the ceiling. We'll give our wrists some attention. So use your right hand to start to draw the left fingertips back. Plug the shoulders into the floor. Keep strong through the belly, the rib cage and the chest. And then flip your palm to face down to get into the other side. And then give that wrist a shake. And we'll use our left hand to draw the right fingertips back. Maybe starting to pulse the hips if you want to get them a little bit more fired. So we're just firing up our engines, which will include our core in a moment as well. And then flip that palm over to get into the other side. And then shaking out the wrists, we're going to slowly lower our hips down. We're going to interlace the hands, bringing the hands behind the head, and we'll draw the elbows up. So we're going to lengthen our legs up to the ceiling. Relax the feet, you haven't got to point, you haven't got to flex, but draw the elbows up so you're hugging into your head. And you want to keep continuous pressure between hands and your head, so you're pressing the head back into the hands so we don't crank on our neck. Take a nice big inhale. And then as you exhale, just lift off the scapula. Just hold it there. Nice strong belly. So again, like I said, firing up our engines, our core. And then inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Hold it there. Now we're just going to open our left elbow out to the left. So we're just flaring out, just isometrically loading our core. Bring the elbow back in. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Right elbow flares out. Keep pressing the head back into the hands. Keep lifting off the scapula nice and tight through the belly. Elbow comes in. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Left elbow opens and then open your right. Right elbow in. left elbow in, inhale to lower, exhale to lift, right elbow opens, so does the left, left elbow in, right elbow in, and lower, exhale to lift, open both elbows, see if you can lift that a little bit higher, elbows come back in, inhale to lower, let's add some twist, exhale to lift, open both elbows and twist to your left slightly, don't fall onto that left scapula, come back to center, elbows in, inhale to lower, exhale to lift, elbows open, we'll twist to the right, keep pressing head back into the hands, keep lifting, come back to center, elbows in, inhale to lower, last one, it's going to be a nice big rep, so exhale to lift, open the elbows, twist to your left, come back to center, over to the right, back to center, over to the left, this time extend both arms and reach, come to center, try and touch your toes, over to the right and reach, back to the center, hold it there for 3, 2, 1, and relax, and just take a breath. Taking a moment to appreciate and acknowledge your resilience for pushing through. You might have had to stop, but that doesn't matter. You're still here, and that's the main thing. And we'll start to draw our knees into the chest. We're going to rock forward and back a few times, gain some momentum. And when you're ready to do so, we'll come all the way up, and we'll come all the way over. And we're going to come into cat and cow. So starting in quadruped, shoulders coming over the wrists, hips over the knees, nice strong base here. Screw the hands into the floor for that external rotation of your shoulders. And as we inhale, beginning to lower the belly, lift the heart, relax the shoulders, and oh, that feels good for the core. Give it a good stretch. And then as you exhale, begin to round. And again, inhale, lower the belly, lift the heart, relax your shoulders. And then exhale to round. Now just start to continue with your own rhythm here, maybe adding some barrel rolls in. So as you inhale, you can lower the belly, but then start to move your hips and your shoulders to opposite sides, like you're drawing circles with your belly button. You can go both ways, so you get a bit of cat and cow action with some lateral flexion of the spine as well. Keep it going, explore. You can send your hips back as you do this. I want you to find your flow, just let everything go, your inhibitions, how you look, just really enjoy movement for what it is today. And then on your next inhale, we'll come back to neutral. Making sure your left hand is directly underneath the left shoulder. As we inhale, we'll bring the right arm up. And as you exhale, thread through. And again, inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhale. And then exhale, thread through. Come on to your right shoulder if you can. See if you can lengthen your left arm down the mat. And maybe starting to lengthen your left foot away from you. If that's too much, leave the left knee down. One more breath. And then bring your left knee down, bring the left hand in. And as you inhale, we'll open up. And then exhale back to all fours. And same again, inhale, open out. And exhale to thread. Inhale to open. Exhale to thread. Inhale. And exhale, threading through. We'll lengthen our right arm down and maybe right leg can go back. And then releasing the right knee down, bring the right hand in, and we'll come back onto all fours. So start to screw the hands back into the floor. I want you to start to draw your shoulder blades together. So we're kind of softening our chest towards the mat. Get strong there through the scapulas, plug the belly in, and one leg at a time, find your plank. Spread all 10 toes, get length through the back of the body. Now we'll drop our knees down. We're just going to lower a quarter of the way, tiny, tiny little lower, and back up. And again, lower quarter of the way. Come back up, this time lift your knees. Drop the knees down, lower halfway. And back up. And again, lower halfway. Push up, this time lift the knees. Drop the knees back down and slowly lower all the way onto your belly. Forehead to the floor, toes can untuck as you inhale, press into the hands. Draw the scapula together and hold. Now it's not about pushing into the arms and dumping our weight here. Pull yourself forward through the fingers. And then exhale to release. And again, inhale, press into the hands, draw the shoulder blades together. Find length through the neck. Breathe, squeeze the glutes, get long through the legs. Exhale to come down once more. Inhale. Hold it there. And then slowly release. Tuck the toes underneath. We'll come through all fours, but then tucking the toes, lifting the tailbone for our first downward facing dog. And just starting to pedal. Screwing those hands still into the mat, drawing the belly, the rib cage and the chest in. And just walk your feet slightly further forward and nice and wide to the edges of your mat. And we're going to reach our right hand across and under the body towards the left leg. So maybe you can grab your thigh around by your knee or calf, or maybe down to the ankle. And just finding space here. And then coming back to center, this time reaching your left hand towards the right leg, and again trying to find as much space. Then releasing the left hand down, and we'll slowly start to walk the feet to the top of the mat. Hug the elbows, let the head release. Just gently rock side to side if it's comfortable to do so. And then releasing your hands down to the toes, soften the knees further. And we'll slowly start to roll all the way up to standing. Sort of setting the pelvis, think about those front hip bones pulling up, tailbone rooting down. Nice strong belly, rib cage and chest. So we'll take an inhale, lengthen the arms up. And as you exhale, sit back into the hips as you hinge and bring the palms down. As you inhale, lift the right hand up, bend the knees as much as you need to, especially that left leg. Exhale to come down. As you inhale, bending into the right knee, left arm comes up. Exhale down. As you inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, send the hips back to fold. Inhale, right arm comes up as we twist, maybe bringing that right arm to the lower back, twist it open. Then releasing the right hand down, softening into the right leg as we inhale, left arm comes up. Maybe bringing the hand to the lower back. Good, release the hand down as you inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, send the hips back to fold. Now we're going to step back into a plank. We'll release the knees, and then as you exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, pull back, lift the chest, relax the shoulders. And then exhale for downward facing dog. Soften the knees, look to the hands, step the feet one at a time to the top to fold. Inhale. Exhale, send the hips back to fold. Step the feet one at a time back to plank. Release the knees And exhale, slow and controlled with that lower. Don't drop the head of the arm bone. Inhale, lift, open the heart. Relax your shoulders. And exhale for downward facing dog. Soften the knees, look to the hands, step the feet one at a time to the top. Inhale. Exhale, send the hips back to fold. Lean into the hands. Maybe this time try a little hop if you can't do it in one. Take 2 hops, or maybe 3 for your plank. Drop the knees, and exhale and lower. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale for downward facing dog. And we'll just take 3 breaths here. Tap back into the body, bring your full awareness to your breath. Now we'll start to make our way into our first flow. It's a kind of single leg flow here. So as we inhale, we're going to lift our left leg up. Really press into the hands. Imagine you're getting pulled back through those left toes. We're going to soften into the right knee and take a little hop. Now keep these hops going. You can be as small as you like or as big and expressive as you like. Couple more. Focus your gaze between your hands if you can. And then when you're ready, we're going to step our left foot through for crescent. Root the tailbone down, squeeze into the glutes. Soften that back knee slightly if you need to. Think about that left hip anchoring back. Take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, deepen. Again, nice big inhale. And as you exhale, start to turn to your left. Relax the shoulders here. And maybe you can reverse. Bringing your left hand down, right arm up. Inhale, come back to the front. Exhale to twist. Maybe reverse. Take a breath here this time. Then as you inhale, come all the way back to center. And as you exhale, start to open into warrior 2. So reset the pelvis. Think tailbone roots down. These front hip bones pull up. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. Now we're going to come into eagle arms. We're going to wrap our right arm underneath the left. Now you might want to just stick with hugging your shoulders here. That's option 1. Option 2 is bringing backs of the hands together. Option 3 is your full eagle bind with the arms. Once you've found your variation, bring the elbows in front of your gaze. I want you to pull the hands away and start to broaden and bring space between your shoulders, like you're kind of rounding or doming the upper back, but keep it nice and strong through your core. Breathe. Now without changing the lower body, as you inhale, start to lift and take a very, very slight back bend. Still anchoring through the legs, trying not to send your left butt cheek out to the side. Last breath. Then as you inhale, come up, turn your arms to face the top right corner of your mat. And as you exhale, begin to fold. Again, anchor that left hip back. Keep rooting through the outer part of both of your feet. Breathe here. And then as you inhale, come up. We're going to lift our back heel, so we're back in our crescent. So again, continue to root your tailbone down, hug the belly and rib cage in. Keep those eagle arms if you can. If it's too much, hug the shoulders, or just bring your hands to your hips. We'll take a nice big inhale here. And then as you exhale, lean into your left leg, and so you can begin to come onto your right big toe. Now this might be enough for you here, or maybe you can start to lift your right foot off the ground for a variation of our warrior 3 or our aeroplane. Last breath, squeeze into that left glute. Keep that broadness between your shoulders. Then slowly as you inhale, come all the way up, bringing the right knee into the chest. Now you're welcome to stay here. You're welcome to release the arms should you need to, or maybe take in the bind with the legs for your full eagle. One more breath. Then slowly bringing that right knee back into the chest. We'll release the arms, giving the shoulders a nice little roll. Then as you inhale, arms come up. As you exhale, send the hips back to fold. Lean into the hands. You can step back to a full plank or challenge yourself and keep this right leg lifted and try to hop back on one leg. Exhale and lower, maybe hover. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale for downward facing dog. Nice big inhale here. And then exhale to let it all go. And again, big inhale. And exhale. Now as your next inhale, we'll lengthen our right leg up. Press into those hands, hug the belly and rib cage in. We'll soften the left leg and we'll hop. Yeah, start to trust, think about leaning into the hands. And then when you're ready to do so, stepping your right foot through towards the top of the mat. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And as we inhale, we'll come up for our crescent lunge or high lunge. Root and anchor that right hip back. Tailbone down, big inhale. And as you exhale, begin to twist open. And then see if you can start to reverse, bringing that right hand down, either to the leg or maybe to the lower back. Inhale to come up, all the way back to center. Find that length as you exhale, open back up. And reverse, taking a few breaths here. Find that space. And then inhale to come up. And as we exhale, we'll drop the left heel in, opening for warrior two. Again, reset your pelvis, stick tailbone down, not under, but down. These front pelvic bones are pulling up. And making sure your right knee is following the direction of the toes and not collapsing inwards off the foot. Lengthen out the arms. And then you'll take your variation of eagle. So left arm underneath the right this time. Again, you can hug your shoulders like so. Bring the backs of the hands together. We'll go for that full bind, palm to palm. We'll start to elevate the elbows in front. Pull the arms away and broaden, dome your upper back. Nice and strong through the core, through the glutes and everything else, but breathe here. And then as you inhale, start to lift the arms, lift the gaze, keep that broadness, keep that strong core, keep the glutes strong as well. 2 more breaths. And then inhale to come up, turn to the top left corner of your mat, and as you exhale, begin to fold. Make sure this hip isn't pushing out to the side. You want to keep anchoring the hip back here as you release yourself down towards the floor. Breathe. Last breath. And then as you inhale, come all the way up, lifting off that back heel. Take a moment to reset. Again, if it's too much, hands to your shoulders, hands to the hips. Soften that back knee if you need to here. Take a nice big inhale. Then as you exhale, leaning into that front leg. Again, you are welcome to stay here, or maybe you can start to come off the left big toe, lifting all the way up. Again, keep that broadness between the shoulders. Hug the belly and the rib cage in. And when you're ready to do so, find that strength. Squeeze through the right glute, bringing the left knee into the chest. Maybe you stay there, or maybe crossing over, taking that eagle bind with the legs. Keep pulling that left hip back. And then slowly unravel. Bring the knee into the chest and separate the arms, give the shoulders a good shake. And then as you inhale, arms come up. And as you exhale, taking that single leg fold, hands down to the ground. Lean into the hands and you can walk, step or hop back to plank. And then exhale and lower. Inhale, lift the chest, relax the shoulders. And exhale for downward facing dog. Big inhale here. And then exhale to let it all go. And maybe staying here and taking some breaths there, or maybe coming into child's pose. Bringing your hips back to the heels and lengthening the arms down. There's no right or wrong here. If you feel like resting, please rest. If you feel like you want to stay active, then stay in downward dog. And if you really feel the need to keep moving, maybe take a vinyasa or two. Final 3 breaths. And for those in child's pose, beginning to make your way back to downward facing dog. We'll soften the knees, look to the hands, and you can walk, step or hop to the top. Inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart, center. So flow and let go. We're going to keep flowing, and we're going to keep moving. We're going to ramp it up a little bit. So we're going to start by stepping the right foot back for a lunge, then back to the top, then the left leg back. And keep it going, keep alternating. Getting some nice movement, getting some fire in the body, which I love to do. Again, if this is too much, you can stay one side and just go side to side for the time being. If not, keep alternating at the top of your mat. Really lunging into that back leg and pushing off. Push, 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 like you're taking off. Last couple. Now the next time you step your right foot back, you're going to stay square to the top of your mat. Right hand is coming down underneath the shoulder. Twist open to the left. Left arm can reach up for your twisted crescent. And really think about pulling that right hand back towards the right toes. And lean into this right shoulder blade. Think of it as a pillar. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now a couple of options. First is modified side plank. Dropping down to your right knee and extending your left leg away. Second option is full side plank. Really lift up from the side waist here. 2 more breaths wherever you are. And then as you exhale, left hand comes down for plank, and we'll slowly lower all the way onto the belly. Arms reach either side of the hips as you inhale, lift everything up for locust. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, come to downward dog, but lift up that left leg. So option 1, just begin to stack open the hips as you bend the left knee, pulling the heel in. Option 2, step the left foot behind and take wild thing. 2 more breaths. Notice, where is your struggle here? Good, then bringing the left hand back down. We're going to come forward into a one-legged plank. Take a little push-up. It can be a half, a quarter, or a full. Then as you come back up, step the left foot behind, open back into wild thing. If you can't do wild thing, come back to 3-legged dog. And again, left hand comes down, come forward into plank, push up. Then as you come up, step the foot behind and open. Breathe, breathe, breathe. There's a lot on the shoulder. Good, then bring the left hand down,
Lengthen that left leg up for three-legged dog and take a breath. Now up to you how you transition, whether you draw the knee to the chest, whether you hop, or whether you switch your legs in the air, but when you're ready, left leg comes through, right heel drops in, and we're opening for warrior two. Take a breath. Then we'll flip our left palm up, reach forward, and reverse your warrior. Let the head release, start to bring space into the front of the body. We're going to spend a few breaths here. So many times we flow back and forth, not paying much attention to the pose or the asana itself. So just breathe here. Again, notice what there is to notice. What is your challenge here? Maybe finding some more depth into that left leg. Maybe finding more lift and opening through the upper body. Last breath. And then inhale to come up. And as you exhale, taking side angle, bringing your left elbow onto the thigh, right arm up to the ceiling. Root the tailbone down, keep squeezing through those glutes. Maybe you stay here, maybe you can bring your right arm next to the ear to find that length through the top line of the right hand side of your body. Maybe extend in your side angle down. And you can let the head release if you need to. You can have your gaze down to your left big toe, whatever feels good. And now as you exhale next, we're going to bring our right hand down next to the left, and I want you to turn your left foot to the right. So your both feet are facing the right hand side of your mat, but your hands are as far away from you to the left foot as you can get them. I'm just going to sit back into that right leg. If this is too much, bring the legs closer, bring the arms closer, and just breathe here. Let the head release. It's a beautiful stretch. Nice variation of our lateral lunge. Then slowly come to center here. Come back into some lateral lunges. So maybe bring your hands off the floor, because we're going to start to step to the top of the mat like we did at the beginning. So when you're ready, push off that right leg, step to the top, step the left foot back, back to the top. Keep that alternating like we've just done. Now for those that want to switch it up a notch, you can hop, which does definitely build a lot more fire. Keep it going. Three, two, one. Now with that left leg step back, just turn to the front of the mat, lift off that left heel, left hand comes down underneath the shoulder, lean into that hand, screw it into the floor, but pull it back towards the toes. Right arm lengthens up, breathe. Now you have a few options from here. You either drop the left knee down to modify your side plank, or drop into the outer part of your foot, stacking the feet one on top of the other. Last breath, keep picking up that side waist. And then as you exhale, right hand comes down, and as we exhale, we'll slowly lower onto the belly. No rest though, arms come either side. And as you inhale, lift everything. One more breath. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog, but our right leg immediately lifts. So option one, stay in three-legged dog, begin to open the hip. Option two, step the right foot behind you and open into wild thing. 2 breaths here. Be here with the body, the breath. Notice if your mind starts to wander. Good, then bring your right hand back down. Right leg lengthens up, we'll come forward into a plank. Take a little press up, then come back, opening straight into wild thing. And again, right hand comes down, single leg, press up, all the way back to Wild Thing and breathe. Bring the hand down. Lengthen your right leg up. And when you're ready, we're going to step it through. Drop your left heel in. Reset your pelvis. Arms open out for warrior two. Vibhadrasana. And then we'll flip our right palm up, reach forward. And then you can reverse your warrior, let the head release. Breathe into that front side of the waist. Again, notice what you might not usually notice here. Notice if the glutes have switched off, root them down. Think nice, strong core. Ask yourself, is your mind going anywhere? Or is it focused on the pose, on the breath, on the sensations? And then inhale to come up. And as you exhale, transitioning when you're ready into your variation of side angle today. Again, make sure those glutes stay switched on. Nice, strong core. Find that length through the top line of the body. And then as you exhale, left hand comes down to meet the right. We're going to turn our right foot inwards to the left and we'll sit into our left side. A lovely stretch into the groin, might get into the hammies as well, but also on the left hand side of my waist and into the lower back. Now we're going to stay here. We're going to kind of bring our hands side to side, and as we do, switch in the legs. Just flowing like you're moving sand under your fingertips. Imagine you're on a beach. Just flow and let it go. And then when you're ready, turn to the front of your mat. Step forward and fold. Take a moment here, let everything decompress, soften the knees, let the head release. Maybe coming back to your ragdoll by holding your elbows. And just gently swaying side to side. Then releasing your hands down to your feet, soften the knees, and we'll inhale to come up. And just bring your hands into heart center. Root down through the feet. Find length and lightness through your crown. Press the thumbs to the center of the chest. Feel the heartbeat. That beat that confirms and tells you that you are alive, you are here, and so it is. Now just opening the eyes, we're going to take a step back with our right foot and we're going to turn. Feet parallel or toes slightly turned in. Bring the hands to the hips, going for Prasarita Padonasana. So as we inhale, I want you to find that length. And as you exhale, begin to hinge into the hips. So if your hands are at the hip joints, stuff the femur, the head of the thigh bone back as you fold. Now you might need something to pop the hands onto, or maybe your hands can come down to the mat. Maybe you can start to get a little bit lower. So maybe you're working on bringing your head to the floor. You can grab your feet, your ankles, your calves to use as a little bit of a kind of anchor to pull yourself down with. Now slowly as you inhale, lift the chest. And we're going to bring our right hand over towards the left foot, ankle or shin. If you can't quite reach, just bring it as close to as you can. And then we're going to start to reach the left arm up. Maybe reaching the left arm to your lower back, really twisting open. Then slowly unravel We'll bring our left hand to the right leg or as far over to the right foot as you can. And just taking that twist. Right arm maybe coming up to the ceiling or maybe wrapping it around so you can really open here. And then gently release. Inhale, take that half lift. We'll walk the feet a bit closer, toes out, heels in, and we'll come into goddess. So hands to the hips or to the thighs. I'm just going to pulse, root the tailbone down. And then get low, bring the hands just above the knees, and we're going to drop our right shoulder down towards the floor. Then inhale to center, exhale, drop the left shoulder down. Then come back to center. We're going to turn to the top of the mat. We're going to walk our left foot over to the left hand side. Lengthen the right leg back, come onto your hands and just bounce here in this lizard. Now we'll release the knee down. Maybe you stay here on your hands, or maybe you surrender and just let go here. And then come back up onto the hands. Start to send the hips back as we lengthen this left leg. And just lift the toes and pull them towards you. You can stay up on the hands. You can of course get lower by reaching further forward. And just noticing that feedback coming from the posterior aspect of your legs, through your hamstring, maybe your calf muscles. And then as you inhale, come forward. We're going to slide the left foot back and we're going to creep it all the way over to the right to come into pigeon pose. So dropping the knee over to the left hand side, slide the right leg away, square off the hips, and when you're ready you can fold. Now we're going to be here a little bit longer. So you can start on the hands, and as your body starts to soften, maybe getting deeper and deeper, until eventually maybe you can lengthen the arms overhead, bringing your forehead to the floor. Now if you do have any injuries of the knee, ankle, hip, and you are limited here, maybe come onto your back and take a moment of rest, or take in figure 4, crossing your left ankle over the right thigh. And just surrender. Let the body soften entirely. Bring your awareness inwards to your breath. Coming back to those deep and purposeful, intentional breaths we started with at the beginning of practice today. And just noticing where the mind starts to go. If it starts to wander, bring it back to your breath, the body. Remembering all you have is this moment right here. You can't control what has happened. You can't control what may happen. So just be here now. In this moment, you are breathing, your heart is beating, you are alive, and you are loved. For these final few breaths, just soften that little bit further. Find your edge, that part you can sink into, which might be a little bit more uncomfortable, but it's just one final breath. And then slowly, when you're ready, coming up onto your hands, relaxing the shoulders, just take a breath. Maybe you stay here, maybe you can lift the back foot, taking a bind with right hand to foot, with the option to pull in and begin to fold. And for those working on some binds here, you can try and bring your right foot into the right crease of your elbow and start to link the arms up for a beautiful bind. We haven't done lots of shoulder and heart openers today, but if anybody is working towards their king pigeon, you have the option to. Hard to speak when you come into it. But when you're ready, releasing wherever you are, we're going to plant the hands and we're going to try and make our way back to lizard. So that's the fun bit. So we're going to lift the back knee, press into the hands, give this leg a shake, come onto all fours first if you need to, but then step the left foot to the outside of the hand. Come onto the fingertips and just take a breath. So we're going to start to walk around to the right. And we're going to come into some lateral lunges, but keep your hips low. Try and get as low as you can as you move. Maybe coming into Skandasana either side, where you lift the toes up to the ceiling and just open here. And then when you're ready to do so, we're going to walk around to the back of the mat. So our right foot is in front, creeping it over to the right hand side as we come back into lizard. And we're just going to bounce. And then release the back knee down. Maybe you stay up on the hands, or maybe again folding down. You don't have to come all the way down, remember, you can half bend the elbows, or if you have access to a block or a prop, using one of them. But really think about hugging the knee in towards you. Try and soften the shoulders, the face, the groin. And when you're ready to do so, coming up onto the hands, we're going to send the hips back, start to straighten that right leg, pulling the toes up towards you. Maybe getting a little bit deeper here. And then inhale to come forward. We're going to slide the right foot back, walk the foot over to the left, and we'll come into our pigeon pose. So square off, find your comfortable spot. Maybe you stay here, and as you begin to release and relax, you can get that deeper and deeper with every exhale. And then start to notice the differences between either side. Bring that full awareness, your presence to your breath and your body as they try and find that comfort within this pose. Remind yourself why you are on your mat today. Whatever the reason, give yourself a smile. I'm glad that you are here, that you have given your body, your mind, your breath a chance to flow, to be free. And try not to resist here. The hips are where we hold all of our emotional stress.
You're holding a lot of resistance here, might mean you need to soften that little bit further. Don't resist what's there. And for these last few breaths, finding that edge. And then slowly making your way up onto the hands. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you need to release. Maybe lifting that back foot for the bind, giving the quad and hip flexors a really lovely stretch. Of course, taking one of the other options I demonstrated on the other side if you're working towards them. If it's new, leave it today. If you need an instructional video breaking it down, you know where to find me. I'm happy to record one for you. And when you're ready to do so, planting the hands, tucking the toes and finding downward dog. And of course, today at your back of the mat here, we'll just shake everything out. And movement back into the hips. I want you to spend the next 20 breaths doing absolutely anything you want. So whether it's just moving through vinyasas here, whether it's taking an inversion, a hand balance, anything at all. I want you to find your flow. Maybe it's just holding downward dog and appreciating downward dog for what it is. It can be a strenuous pose, but it's also an option to reflect, to go inwards, to find stability, strength. And if you are wanting to do an inversion but you're just not quite sure, not having someone to spot you, I really do encourage the wall. It can be a nice place to practice while we are limited. So whether you use it for your forearm stands or your handstands, it's completely your call. And again, it's a nice way to get a sure way of not falling over entirely. And once you have had a play, begin to make your way down onto your back. Of course, you will have some more things you want to play with. Feel free to pause the video before we get to Shavasana and have a little play around while your body's nice and warm and switched on. And just coming onto your back, we're going to begin to draw the knees into the chest. I'm going to hug them in, rocking side to side, go into some lower back rolls and circles. And just keeping hold of your right leg, begin to lengthen your left leg down. And then taking a bend into your left knee, cross your right ankle over the left leg and just twist and drop over to the right. We'll extend the arms overhead. I want you to use your right hand to grab the left wrist, pull it up and just take yourself over slightly to the left. And then slowly release, come back to centre. Draw the left leg in as you lengthen your right leg down. And then taking a bend into your right leg, we'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh. And we'll just twist over to the left. Arms can come overhead. We'll grab the right wrist with the left arm and just pull up and over ever so slightly. Now to close the eyes, starting to soften. And then coming back to center, finding your final resting pose in Shavasana. Lengthening the legs away from one another, allowing your toes to fall out to the side. Hands away from the body, palms facing up. Of course, making any adjustments if you need to make yourself more comfortable. Find length from the crown of the head all the way down to the tailbone. Allow the shoulders soften away from the ears. Allowing your chest to soften. Your abdomen, your hips, your thighs, your lower legs, your feet, your hands, your arms. And softening the face. Softening the space between the eyebrows, softening the eyes and the tissue that surrounds them, the nose, the jaw, the mouth. And just allow your body to become weighted on the ground, feeling the points of contact become heavier. And just scan through the body and ask yourself, how does your body feel right now? Is there any more tension? Is it relaxed? Does it feel heavy, light, hot, cold? And sink further and further into the ground beneath you. Drawing first your awareness to your heart and your heartbeat. Maybe seeing if you can try and hear the heartbeat. And then bringing your awareness to your breath. Not trying to change, not trying to alter, not trying to control. Just observe. Observe the whole pathway of the breath, from its inhalation to the air around you, as it comes through the nose, down all the way into the lungs, expanding, and then go into the parts of the body that need that fresh oxygen. And as you exhale, you get rid of any waste from the lungs, travelling all the way back up and out into the air surrounding you. Every inhale being a breath of life, of refreshing, of need, of energy, and every exhale as a waste product leaving the body, ridding you of tension, stress, build-up. Inhale energy and love. Exhale waste and tension. Inhale love. Exhale tension. Inhale love. Exhale fear. Inhale love. Exhale waste. Now just beginning to deepen your breath. Begin to bring some awareness back to your surroundings, to the sounds, to the smells, to the things you can feel. Starting to gently awaken the body with some small movements into the fingers, toes, ankles and wrists. And when you're ready to do so, taking a big full body stretch, point the toes, interlace the hands and squeeze everything. And then relax. Bending both the knees. You can begin to roll onto your right hand side into a comfortable side laying position. Spending a moment or two there. When you're ready, making your way all the way up into a comfortable seated or kneeling position. We'll bring the hands into heart center, roll the shoulders back and down. And together, just taking one final big inhale, make it the biggest breath of your week. Hold it in for 5. And then open the mouth, smile, and let everything go. Blink the eyes open. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. Hope you have a wonderful day or weekend, whatever you're practicing. Namaste.